So someone wrote online that apparently South Africans are not happy because a lot of Japanese fans are cleaning the stadium after the match, and they're saying, well, they're taking our jobs. All right, that's silly. And I thought, okay, that's very unusual, but that's an interesting observation. But the whole point is there's still the meme that everyone's talking about, that South Africa, xenophobia in the country, and then the fact that they wanted all Africans out of their country. And now because of that, a lot of Africans in the World Cup are supporting anyone playing against South Africa. They basically want South Africa to lose. And the funny thing is that in most of these cases, you would see people would support other countries in the same continent. It's a regional mentality. Africans supporting Africans, South Americans supporting South Americans, and Asians supporting Asians, and Middle Eastern countries doing the same. But anyway, that brought to mind the question of why Japanese actually do it, because I've seen some of the videos and it looks almost performative. They're just doing it for the camera, but apparently it's a little bit deeper than that. The Indian Times reported that Japanese fans go viral for cleaning entire stadium after World Cup in Texas. Why do they do so? And then another headlines, Fox News, Japanese World Cup fans clean up stadium with NFL quarterback after the team. Anyway, and then you have another one, Fox Detroit, Japanese fans clean Dallas Stadium after World Cup. And then another one, APB News, what Japan fans win hearts, clean stadium after thrilling FIFA World Cup. And then finally, Japanese fan clean up World Cup stadium. But the funny thing is that this isn't something new. So apparently it started in 1998 when the World Cup took place in France, and the Japanese fans came, and after the game they were cleaning up, and all of a sudden the news media were like, oh, that is very unusual, because in most Western countries, European countries or African countries, you go there, you pay your entrance fee, enjoy the game, and then just leave, and then the cleaning is basically the last thing on your mind. And now, when it became the news went viral, a lot of the Japanese fans were really surprised. What's the big deal? For them, apparently, it's not a big deal. It's just like you clean or you leave the place better than you actually found it. And this is a concept that to a lot of many Western countries, it is just something they just don't understand. And the Japanese fan was like, you're praising us for something that we just do normally? It doesn't make sense to them. But, all right, I've been to Japan, Tokyo to be more precise, and something I noticed that Tokyo was clean. Japan was clean, the public toilet was clean. What surprised me the most is just how insanely clean the toilets are, and all these gadgets and all the buttons you have in the toilets and on the street. And if you're paying attention, you don't have rubbish bins that you would get maybe in Western countries in Europe and America. And so a lot of the reason for this, I thought it was performative, first of all, because you think, oh, when people, Western, the viral moment where people go to the beach and they say, we're cleaning up, and hundreds of people would turn up, clean it up, and the video goes viral and everyone's happy, and it's fine for like 2 seconds, and then they disappear, and then the dirt came back and nobody's there to clean it. So I thought, so this must be a cultural thing. And this is why, for example, a lot of the public toilets in Japan is very clean. Even on the streets, the streets are clean. And apparently it's a mentality where in most schools from a really young age, Japanese students are trained to clean their classroom. There are no school cleaners. You're trained to clean your classroom, arrange the chairs. Basically, the cleaning and taking care of your surrounding is a cultural thing, is about respect and for yourself, respect for your environment, and respect for others. And it is ingrained in the Japanese culture and the Japanese psyche that now they're doing it, they're not really thinking about the viral moment, and the fact that they've been doing it for over 20 years and at major events goes to show you that they're just not. It's just part of who they are, and the fact that a lot of people actually like it was a sort of encouragement for them that they just bring their bags after the event, we clean up, and then then you go home, and that's it. It basically is just who they are. Now, this brings me back to the idea of the memes, the funny memes that, oh, South Africans are saying the fact that the Japanese are cleaning the stadium, they're taking our jobs. But I thought, what about if every fan of the game, football, FIFA World Cup, or any major sporting event, decide from now on, anytime we go to a sporting event, we're just going to clean up? Wouldn't that really take the jobs of the companies in charge of cleaning the stadium? And looking into that, I mean, it's a very good question, because if a job that you're being paid for, just imagine the toilet, the office cleaners, street cleaners, who else? All the jobs that requires cleaning. If the people using the service are actually very clean and take their rubbish home with them and dump it where it's like a festival. If you go to Glastonbury, it's a disgusting nightmare after the festival is over. People leave their tents. It's just disgusting. But now, imagine now all the fans clean up after them. Then it means all those in charge of the would lose their jobs. Is that what you would think? And another thing is this, that even if the fans do clean up, does it mean that then the events, football, whatever events, sporting events, music, concert, does it mean then that people will get discount because now cleaning is no longer part of the issue? Then it transpires that it's not that simple. The fact that the Japanese fans are cleaning up is great, but apparently there's more to just cleaning the stadium. That first of all, you need to power wash the area, because, well, if someone spills something, the fans are not going to clean it up. If there's custard, your hot dog sauce is on the seat and things like that, fans are not going to clean it up. And also disinfecting the area. I didn't know that was even a thing, but it does make a lot of sense, where that the room should be power washed, pressure washed, disinfectant, and just make it cleaner. And of course, that takes a lot more time. And I've been to the cinema, and a lot of popcorn was on the floor everywhere. It was as if children were eating, but these were adults. And then you see even if we all try to pick it up, we wouldn't do a good job. You still need cleaners to come in with their vacuum cleaner or Hoover or whatever it is, and just use that and then disinfect, and just basically where your hands can get into and do a proper deep cleaning. So yeah, South Africans, they're not going to take your job, but the idea, I think it's a very good question, that the fact that a lot of the Japanese are doing it, basically it's a show of respect, but it also means that it makes the life of those who will be cleaning a bit easier, because then instead of having to pick up all the dirt, you just get in with your machine and finish the job quicker, and it's just going to be a bit less of a pain for the cleaners. Now let's talk about the bigger issue about cleanliness and Japanese society. Apart from the fact that, we're talking about football and the expectation of cleaning, but apparently they used to have public rubbish bins, and all of a sudden in 1995, the Tokyo subway attack. And since then, where basically I think part of the attack was that someone hiding explosives inside a bin, and then the government said, no, we can't do this anymore. If you take your bin with you, you take it home with you, and that's it. So basically it's to improve security. And since then, it's just been the way a lot of Japanese do it. So if you're a foreigner coming into the country, you're like, excuse me, I don't understand, where is the rubbish bin here? And another thing, is that they, unlike the viral moment of people going to clean the beach, cleaning the canals in there, or cleaning all these other public areas, as a sort of a stunt, in my opinion, performative, but it's still a good one because I mean it's better than nothing. Once they've done it, it's just a one-off thing, or they do it whilst the moment, the viral moment is still there. But after that, it just stops being a thing. But in Japan, apparently, it's not just about the school starting really early, but also neighborhood cleaning, where it is a voluntary thing, but apparently the mentality is this, that it is voluntary, but you expect it. The way the neighbors look at you, what type of neighbor are you? You can't even come to clean the neighborhood and all that. So the peer pressure is so big that even if you don't like cleaning, the public space is considered a shared space where that should be respected, and it's not up to one person to actually clean it. And since you've used to cleaning when going to school, well, after you get to a certain age, you also basically have to join in cleaning the area you live in, and that is why you see a lot of Japanese neighborhood or areas are very clean. Now, the other side of this is, I was in the train in Japan. The train was clean, but it was quiet. It was absolutely, everyone's on the phone, and if someone says something, it's like they whisper, and that's it. No noise, and you're like, this place feels dead. But apparently, it is just the way it is, and this is where I didn't know this, but I heard that if you have a toddler or baby and the baby starts crying in a train, that is like a nightmare, the nightmare scenario for a Japanese mother, and she goes all panicky. And it is not unusual for that mother just to step out of the train at the next stop and go to a nice corner, quiet corner, to calm the baby down before continuing her journey. And I thought, wow, I mean, I've been on a plane. I think we were going from Europe to Orlando somewhere, and there was a baby. No, it wasn't a baby. He was about 5, 6 years old, but apparently he had ADHD or hyperactivity. For, I don't know, 6, 7 hours straight, it was just up and down, would cry, up and down, up and down. And everyone was just turning their heads like, can you just shut that boy up? And it was really tiring. You can see the family was flustered, but everyone was angry. But, well, what are you going to do? Excuse me, Mr. Pilot, or lock the child in the toilet? You can't do that. But anyway, so the Japanese expectation in public is just so strict, a lot of peer pressure, and that is what you see. But there is a sort of a negative side to that all cleanliness and all that peer pressure that a lot of people go through in Japan. Now, with that constant pressure of having to just be someone else in public, you get the feeling that Japanese are made different. They're built differently. But the true story is this: that you're not really yourself, and that is something that a lot of Japanese have to struggle with. The idea of tatame, apparently, you have to put on a facade, a sort of a facade of how you behave in public, and that is a mask that a lot of people wear because that's what is expected of you. And then you have the hone, the true sound, or the inner voice, basically who you really are. So the public face and then the real person who you are would come into a conflict where it's just too hard for you to deal with the public pressure of having to conform to societal norms constantly, that it leads to something called the hikikomori, extreme social withdrawal, where people just, I can't handle this society anymore. I can't be myself. I can't take it anymore. And a lot of people just fall into depression, or they just withdraw from society because it's just like too much pressure. And so the rigidity of Japanese society and how to behave in public and how everyone is expected to have, a homogeneous society, how to behave. A lot of people, when you you're a foreigner and you come into that picture, you like it because it just feels great that Japanese people are so respectful. But the problem is that you're not really meeting the person. You're meeting a different version of the person that you think is respectful. I remember going to McDonald's and we were waiting in queue. It was like the customer service is like, I almost felt like it was a bit too good to be true, if you understand. So people were, if you ask them, they're willing to help you, but it is not because they want to help you. It is just a way of being where they say, I'm in public, I'm supposed to be helpful, but maybe deep down I don't really care about people. I don't care about, it's just the way society is. But anyway, yeah, to put it this way, the cleanliness of the Japanese people, the respect, it has its positive side because it means the society is a bit safer, but then it comes sometimes at a higher cost.